Hey guys, welcome back to another Dead Mall video. So today we're going to be taking a look at a mall that I actually did about a year or so ago. And the reason I'm going to go back there is because this mall was literally the most dead mall that I've ever seen. It had one store in it, which was Dunham Sports. And it's still in that same shape that has, it still has Dunham Sports in it, and that's it. However, since then, around December, there was some news that it's actually going to get redeveloped and new stores are going to come in, and there's actually going to be things torn down and new things built. So I wanted to get out there and get one last look of it because I don't know what it's going to look like once everything's done, and I wanted to see if it's still on the brink of extinction, and I'm sure it probably is. So join me as we travel to Logansport, Indiana to check out the progress and the current state of the Logansport Mall. So the Logansport Mall was one of those unique malls, which, yes, a dead mall is a dead mall. However, this mall literally has one store in it, and it's Dunham Sports. So it's funny that it's still considered a mall. When you walk in, you would not even have any idea that it's a mall. You would think it's just maybe a lobby to something because there's really nothing in there. And I knew, because since I had gone there about a year ago, I knew what shape it was in, but I had no idea that it had come to this. When you walk into this place, they have it so barricaded off with these chains that they only want people walking on one side of the building, and you can't even go over to the other side. And immediately when I walked in, the first thing that hit me was the smell. And it's a smell that you will not forget if you've ever been to this place. It smells like a mix between an old attic, a wet basement, and tons of mold. And if you saw my old video, which I'll link in the description, one thing I mentioned was it really smelled like mold in a lot of these stores that are empty. And I also noticed they had a lot of plastic behind those gates because they didn't, I thought that they were actually blocking mold from getting out. And it turns out I was right, because somebody actually commented in that old video that there was a mold problem and there was a flood at one time, and there was a lot of mold in the place that never got removed. They've actually built walls on both sides of the mall of that Dunham's. If you were to go past the wall straight ahead that's the whole section of the mall. And of course, in the video that I did a year ago, I went through the entire place, and this is the other side. They built walls on both sides, so you can't even access the actual mall anymore. You can only go up to Dunham Sports, which is a shame because there's a lot back there that you can actually go look at, but unfortunately they don't want anybody back there anymore. This side is actually where the food court used to be, or food court, a couple little restaurants, and it's all just where junk is right now. And here's the fountain, that poor fountain. They've removed all the plants, of course the water's gone. I was really lucky to have been there when that was still actually running. Now, as far as the redevelopment of this mall, back in December it was actually purchased by a Chicago developer called Park Development LLC, and it actually, I first heard about it back around late December, and at that point I thought, you know what, I'm gonna go out there and check it out, because I wanted to see, one last time before they actually started doing all this. And unfortunately, that's, a couple months later, the world kind of started falling apart, so I wasn't able to get out there until today, which is actually May 24th 2020. It's a Memorial Day weekend. There's one of the other entrances. If you were to go past the wall, that would be one of the entrances right in front of JCPenney, which is actually right here. Now, as far as the major development plans, this JCPenney is actually going to be torn down, and it's going to be sold off as a separate building to the developer. And believe it or not, the plan is actually to replace this with a hotel. Now, they haven't said what brand of hotel or anything. However, one of the reports I read did actually say it was a chain, so who knows who it's going to be. I'm guessing a Quality Inn or maybe a Comfort Inn. I don't know. Those seem to be kind of like mid-range. Definitely not like really nice, but definitely not trashy. I thought maybe a Holiday Inn Express would work, but there's actually one of those just across the street from here. But not only is there a hotel plan to come in, but one of the reports I read said that they've already committed to 12 stores to move into the mall. I don't know, I'll believe that when I see it. The mall is not in the best shape. Like I said, there is a lot of mold in there. You can smell it when you walk in. And some of those stores are just really falling apart. A lot of the ceiling, you can see where there's a lot of water damage on the walls and the ceiling, and I don't know. I think it's going to take a lot of work and convincing to get people in there, but according to that report, there are 12 stores that were actually planning on moving in there. But of course, that was in December before the world went into a total chaos, so who knows if it's actually going to happen or not. But the last report I've read was actually in March, and I haven't read anything after that. So as far as I know, this is all still happening, and this is actually a big part of the redevelopment for the entire town. Logansport is a pretty small town. So, you know, I don't know a lot about Logansport, other than I used to come here when I was a kid because I didn't live too far from here. So I actually used to go to this mall quite a bit. And I will mention here, that's a Home Depot right there. And right across the street is a hotel. It's a Holiday Inn Express and a Rural King, which is actually where a Walmart used to be, and then Walmart built a whole new store, brand new store right behind the mall. So it is actually in a really busy area, so these redevelopment plans, I think they could work if they actually happen, but that's the thing, you gotta actually make it happen. So I don't know, I'll believe all this when I see it. If it actually does happen, I will come back here and, you know, do a whole new video of the entire new project, because I'm really looking forward to something happening here, because this mall is just so depressing when you go inside. There's absolutely nothing in there anymore other than Dunham Sports. And it's sad to think that if Dunham Sports happened to ever close, this mall would be gone. It really reminds me of the 5 Points Mall in Marion, Indiana, how they've actually, at first there was nothing left in there, so they walled off the actual mall. And actually at that mall you can't even get in anymore to any of the entrances. There's just a couple things left with outside entrances. So I really could see that happening here if Dunham's ever closes. Hopefully they won't. But I wish the best for this place. I have good memories there when I was a kid. I used to go there quite a bit, but hopefully things will work out and everything will start moving forward with all these plans. So I thank everybody for watching this quick update video of the Logansport Mall. This is Memorial Day weekend, so I hope everybody has a great weekend. I hope everybody's staying safe and healthy. I thank everybody for watching. I hope everybody has a great day, a great week, and thanks again.